To my colleague Archibald, I am writing to you today to inform you that the dark dealer of goods, Zer, is selling a weapon that, despite its waning popularity among the Crucible gaggle, is nevertheless an excellent choice in applying an unforeseen amount of pressure to the colony of room-temperature IQ shotgun-wielding apes. This weapon, the Hardlight, in combination with the correct artillery of equipment and secondaries, could enable some of the Crucible rabble with even a primary school education in geometry to possess one of the best area control PvP builds in the entire game. So of course, you and I must double our efforts in silencing the hooded hentai-faced black market dealer from furthering the truths about this Hardlight. As you are undoubtedly aware, my family-sized companion, the Hardlight has a unique built-in trait that grants it the ability to ricochet off walls, more than a 12-year-old child strung out on their mother's double-shot espresso. This alone isn't nearly a cause for a concern. However, if the common Crucible residents were able to realize the damnable synergy of applying pressure from places no Guardian should ever be capable of, from the Hardlight in combination with the underappreciated grenade exotic Shinobu's Vow, they would be able to flood such a ludicrous amount of damage that they may be able to initiate or finish kills from places that they don't ever even need to be in line of sight of. If that thick skull of yours is still struggling to grasp the severity of my tone, the combination of these two exotics can double down on the ability to keep targets from regenerating health or shields, or finish an already damaged target from the safety of cover. Breathe, Reginald. As you can see, we must confuse any attempts made by the riffraff to piece together this build for themselves, or we may have to answer to the offices of our superiors at Bungie why not only every Crucible map looks like a Daft Punk concert, but also why the Guardians in them are doing the damnable sin of having fun in PvP. We will, of course, be incapable of preventing all of the Crucible laymen from satiating their curiosity and purchasing the Hardlight from that bastard Zer, so, at the very least, do your damnedest to at least conceal the entirety of this Hyperlight Hunter build from the public eye. The worst thing they can do is lean harder into the synergy that Shinobu's and the Hardlight has to offer. So, mods like Bomber, first and foremost, must be avoided in conversation. If they were to even hear mention of that mod, they may have a moment of useful intelligence and think to equip it to further the uptime of their skip grenades. The Bomber effect on a marksman dodge would not only, of course, allow the wielder to gain 15% grenade energy back, but because the dodge also reloads the weapon, it can further perpetuate the endless stream of searing hot lasers perforating the faces of their enemies. As your deception continues to unfold, it is pinnacle that you continue to encourage the use of stasis. The nerfs, of course, neutered many of the smooth brain's easiest ways to secure kills, but after these changes they may find themselves actually requiring weapon skills and game sense. Little do they know that while they struggle to force out what was once into the newly evolving meta, we will be sitting back in Tahiti, laughing as we spray them down like an exterminator eradicating a colony of ants. But if the insects were to attempt this build because of their atrophied trigger finger, they may find the ability to hit headshots from long range with a Hardlight's reduced damage drop-off difficult. So, you must encourage them not to equip perks like auto-rifle targeting and unflinching to mitigate the need for precision aiming and adjustments. Rather, try to navigate the conversation towards the more benign and pointless, like how their Guardian's fashion is not up to par, and their sense of color coordination is abysmal. If you can get them furious with your accusations of their lack of what they call drip, then they may be distracted from the power of this build, for the fool's folly shall be their tongue. If you are in the unfortunate position of having to answer the battery of questions about what subclass to run with these exotics, do everything in your power to direct them away from using Bottom Tree Arcstrider. This subclass's passive abilities allow you to not only reposition with ease with the use of a damage-resisting dodge, but also gives you more energy for your grenades with Combat Meditation passive. Simply put, if they were to equip this subclass in combination with the aforementioned loadout, they can maintain a near-permanent uptime of those aggressively tracking skip grenades to pester targets with. I can already picture a hunter giggling like a schoolgirl when they are able to bombard a foe with so many skittering arc armaments that Shaxx actually informs them that they have in fact thrown enough grenades. I know you will want to play more aggressively with this build and use an up-close and personal weapon, like the Astral Horizon or the new Iron Banner shotgun, Reese Reborn. But truly, Archibald, you simply must try the new kinetic grenade launcher Ignition Code with the Demolitionist role. If those damnable hunter mains press you on why you are running the Ignition Code in combination with the Hard Light and Shinobu's Vow, tell them that you were too lazy to switch it off in between matches. Your personal history should hold credence to that claim. If they catch you also intentionally running a kinetic shotgun to support a more aggressive version of this build, you will have a hard time bumbling your way out of your proverbial hole you dug yourself. Nevertheless, I have found that the Ignition Code, in combination with the cover-invalidating nature of this build, to be a combo that certain personalities in the Destiny community may call nasty. The ability to either initiate a quick burst of damage from the grenade launcher followed by a quick access sling swap into the hard light to secure a kill, or the ability to, with the Demolitionist perk's reload mechanic, allow you to carpet bomb an area with the fire skip fire combo, is far too amusing and abusive for the Crucible pawn scum to forego. Do whatever you can to keep the average player from realizing the agility and flexibility that this build can provide. Setting up kills with this combination can be accomplished in a variety of ways. You can use the grenade launcher to skip grenades or vice versa. Because of the tracking the skip grenades provide, you can use skip grenades to sniff out targets like a hound dog, showing their loyalty by fetching you kills that otherwise might have been missed. Additionally, using the bolstering detonation on the arms grants the user dodge energy on grenade hits, which in tandem with the bomber mods creates an energy loop of never-ending abilities. The hard light, with the lack of damage falloff, makes it competitive in range around the distance of the popular 120 RPM hand cannons. It is also versatile enough to help line up shots for the grenade launcher or follow up after the skip grenades, cutting the usual time to kill by roughly half. The build also can benefit from the Charged with Light mods and the Firepower mod to gain even more energy for grenades. If paced correctly, and if all shots land, you will have the ability to throw 3 grenades, making the Crucible look like a poorly received Michael Bay film. And finally, the Super, while requiring being in melee range to be effective, it can use the dodge non-stop through its duration, making it a deceptively durable roamer. Using the Arc Staff and its 3-hit combination, you can obliterate even the tankiest of supers. I trust that despite your habit of being an excitable blatherskite, you will have no problems bringing the attention of the public away from this hyperlight build. However, I do agree that with the stasis nerfs, more people will be returning to light-based subclasses. That could potentially bring more eyes on these builds we intend to keep in the dark. So, just as we spawn these new tools to ascend the scum of the Crucible, we must also look into generating more means of distracting the populace. I have heard that Lakshmi too has been riling up the people of the tower with her unfavorable words towards the fallen. Perhaps a generous and anonymous donation to her cause may be warranted, to keep the more persistent players occupied. The more these ingrates are involved into these politics, the less they are focused on our schemes. If you have any more convoluted schemes that could keep our business under wraps, I am open to hearing them. Until next I hear from you, your friend, Reginald Cornwall von Skyburner. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Crypt Magnet here, again, the guy who voices both Archibald and Reginald in this series created by TDT. We once again want to say that we greatly appreciate your support and interest in this series. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It also helps if you ring that little bell icon there. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, we have a Patreon linked in the description down below. We also have a second channel, a Twitter, and a Discord link. If you want to hear me say something in Archibald or Reginald's voice, you can leave a comment down below, and we'll see about doing it. Yeah.
This man was so Chad he had to use his British voice. Glock 17. This is just a Glock, as quoted by Zavala. Exotic perk. It's a Glock. Spurious lemon dander. My inner machinations lay undetected for years.